would you like to start?
I think when we sat down, nung kinukwento nga ni Coco na matagal na niya gustong magtrabaho kaming lahat, gumawa ng project together, ang una kong sinabi is we were just waiting for the right time. The right time for a project na perfect din sa'yo. No? When we sat down, we knew from the get-go what do we want to see, no? From a Coco Martin movie from our end. Gustong-gusto namin talaga to bring out the best of Coco, not just what we see in Batang Quiapo, Provinciano, but together with that, ang lakas ng lahat ng legacy niya dun sa indie movies niya dati, no? He was this boy next door na hindi mo pa nakikitang kinakawawa, parang biktima na siya. No? So we wanted to bring that out together, no? Not just the action hero in him, but also the dramatic actor in him. Which, kuminsan, baka isipin na marami, ma-overshadow na ng pagka-action hero niya yung dramatic actor past niya. Pero from the very beginning, Coco is really a dramatic actor. And we looked for a material that not only showcases good action, okay, because that's what we both do, mostly, but also something with a strong heart, something with a strong story on humanity. And I think doon kami lahat nagtagpo-tagpo. Well, all the pitches, I think the reason why napunta kami sa On the Job, sa Bonifacio, kasi ang lalaki ng emosyon nitong dalawang kwento na to. The other ones we pitched were closer to popcorn movies than just a really good story. Ito, popcorn movie, pero malakas yung kwento. Malakas yung kwento ng bida, malakas ang kwento ng title roles, no, which is Maghari and Bonifacio. So I think that's where we agreed all together, no? Lahat kami parang wala nang question yun, yung kung anong gagawin naming project.
So halos siya nasagot ang question mo, Alex, sinagot ng Direk Eric, or you have other set of questions? You may use your mic, Alex.
Kay Coco, it seems hindi ka umi-stop sa paggawa, sa pag-explore ng mga bagay na parang gusto mong i-offer sa industry. Ano yung nagtutulak sa'yo? Why are you so driven? Kasi parang lahat naman napatunayan mo na.
Ano po, Sir Alex, kasi sabi ko nga, siguro isa sa pinakamagandang experience na naranasan ko sa buhay ko, talagang naranasan kong magutom. Yung ang tagal mo naghihintay, nung nagsisimula ka as an actor. Nung nasa indie films ako, meron ngayon 6 na buwan, wala. Meron ngayon 1 taon, wala. Kumbaga, sabi ko, ang tagal ko siyang hinintay. Talagang inaral, pinagsumikapan ko, unasan ako ngayon. Kaya, every time na may nakakausap ako ng mga new actors ngayon talaga, wala akong, hindi ko silang pwede sabihin na turuan silang umarte. Pero yung tamang mindset, yung pagpapahalaga sa trabaho, yun ang pwede kong i-share sa kanila. Na sinasabi ko nga hanggang ngayon na, kaya pag tinitignan nyo, halos dire-diretso yung trabaho ko from soap opera to movie, ganyan. Kasi sabi ko nga, minsan, sa buhay natin, minsan lang kakatukong oportunidad. At lahat, sabi ko, kung babalikan ko, kaya ko sabihin siguro, ako yung pinaka-pangit na pinagsimulan. Kasi nagsimula ako, ang tingin sa akin na nagsisimula ako, bold actor ha. Sexy actor. Hindi lang sexy actor na ang katambal ko, babae. Lalaki.
Pareho pala tayo, bold director. Bold director din ako nagsimula.
Ibig sabihin talaga po, kaya ko kinukwento, ganun ko talaga siya ginapang, pinagsumikapan. Kaya ito na nararanasan ko na yung, kumbaga parang ito na yung bunga ng lahat ng paghihirap ko. Ayoko siyang bitawan. Which is ngayon ang ginagawa ko, i-share ko siya sa mga co-actors ko, sa mga alam kong yung mga tao pinagdadaanan na hindi lahat mabibigyan ng oportunidad o magkakaroon ng trabaho. Yung mga veteran actors natin na alam ko na ngayon na hindi na nakikita. Pag hindi ka na nakikita, hindi ka na mabibigyan ng trabaho, hindi ka na mapapansin. Yung mga bagong artista na nagsisimula, binibigyan ko ng opportunity, hinihila ko. baka sakali sa mga soap opera o sa pelikula ko, mabigyan sila ng oportunidad para magdire-diretso yung trabaho. Which is, sabi ko nga, ang sarap na pakiramdam ko na nandito po ako ngayon. Kasi, yung mindset namin tatlo, ni Sir Dondon at ni Direk Eric, ang nasa isip namin ay buhayin ang pelikulang Pilipino. Kaya kung mapapansin niyo po, very Pinoy na Pinoy yung mga konsepto. Alam niyo po, meron ako mga projects na ino-offer sa akin na bakit di ka mag-remake ng itong Korean soap, ganyan. Sabi ko, hindi ko sinasabi na siguro hindi lang ako fan ng Korean na mga teleserye o telenovela. Kasi sabi ko, nangihinayang kasi ako sa talento ng Pilipino eh. Napakarami nating kwento. Napakaganda ng kultura ng Pilipino. Napakarami pa nating pwedeng i-share sa buong mundo. Kaya sabi ko, kung gagawa ko ng proyekto, gusto ko yung gawang atin, yung original. Yung alam natin na may pagmamalaki natin at kapag kung sakaling tangkilikin siya, naging successful yung pelikula o teleserye, alam natin na gawa natin yun. Yun siguro yung iisang namin, ang iisang puso namin kung ba't kami nandito ngayon na parang, kung gagawa na tayo, siguraduhin natin na hindi lang dito sa bansa natin, sisiguraduhin natin na may pagmamalaki nito kahit sa buong mundo, kahit saan pa tayo pumunta. Yun po yung goal namin dito sa mga pelikulang gagawin po namin.
Very well said.
Mel, MJ, a question from Miss Mel ng Rolling Stone.
Hi, hello. My question is for Direk Eric. I guess you mentioned with May Pag-asa, it's parang modernized-ish. So I was just wondering what you hope audiences today get from your rendition of Andres Bonifacio's story.
More than just the exciting parts of Bonifacio's story that we always see in a lot of the biopics that's been done of Bonifacio, this one focuses totally on Bonifacio himself. Why did he fail as a hero? It discusses the social class because he couldn't find a way in to all the academics and all the heroes like Rizal. Even if he's a big fan, hirap siya pumasok kasi hindi naman siya talaga academic, no? And he was fighting for when are we gonna start fighting beyond words? And that's what a lot of people can't understand about him. The next one is it really tells the story of why he failed. That's why it's subtitled The Battles of Andres Bonifacio, because we will showcase all the battles of Andres Bonifacio and why it failed. Because we don't want, di ba, ang palagi nilang sinasabi, laging talo si Bonifacio, laging hindi na nanalo. But here, we really dissected the main reasons why he couldn't win a battle from beginning to end until his death. It's because may resistance din sa fellow Filipinos. So the main enemy in the story is really how hard it is to unify the Filipinos together and have the same parang adhikain, the same goals. Everyone has their own agenda, and which makes it difficult for Bonifacio to rise above it. Siyempre, given na lagi, ang sinasabi lang, mainitin ang ulo niya, but it goes beyond that. Hindi naman siya reckless lang eh. Hindi siya reckless. He appears to be reckless, primarily because he's frustrated with what's happening around them. Now, that's why he ended up building his own KKK, apart from and we showed that. There's a scene where he went to a gathering and had his No Limitang Hari book signed by, siyempre, yan. That's what I'm saying na written for the modern times because di naman namin alam mo nagpapirma talaga siya. But we want to highlight the fact that Bonifacio was a big fan of Rizal. And that's the reason why he kept on thinking about the revolution. So he went there, he had the book signed, but then he couldn't accept what they were all discussing on how to finish the oppression of Spain. So it was hinted at the end of the scene, kung hindi ka agree sa amin, magtayo ka ng sarili mo. Gawa ka ng sarili mo. And that was the start of when he started building KKK. Yeah.
Medyo malayo pa yan.
2027.
Oo nga. Oo.
Oo, pero at least naging na ng konting hint si,
Ay,
ano.
pero the other one also is the varying versions of the death of Bonifacio. But diba? There's parts where he was chopped into pieces. And then there's another one where he was beaten and then threw on a grave, still alive, and then covered. No, so because we don't know what really happened, because even the tombstone of Bonifacio, we don't really know where it is. No, of course, meron tayong marker, pero hindi naman sure kung dyan talaga. So we decided, and that's what makes this. We're not doing a movie na parang talagang sinasanto namin ang historical na pano. We did two versions of it, which we see in the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. Parang ganun.
Interesting. We'll wait for 2027 for that. Pero Direk, I just like to acknowledge siya, yung on the job, parang na kayong Marvel Universe, ha? Di ba? Parang nakakanak na siya, no, Direk? You had on the job Missing 8, and then buo ang HBO ng kinumbay niya yung dalawa, no, Direk? Tama? And then we're having on the job Maghari. May vision ka pa ng marami pa to, mga anak pa to.
Meron pa kaming isang mas luma pa yung kwento.
Ay, mas malayo pa.
Mas 1970s.
Paurong.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course, before